Another video by Loista called The Victims of Adam22 No Jumper. I think that's the podcast. I know a little bit about this guy, porn-related stuff, podcast guy, and that is it. I'm guessing it's a good summation. I guess we'll gain some more context as to who this guy is through this video. So as always, like and subscribe to my channel. Go check out this guy's channel. Subscribe to his stuff if you enjoy it. Thank you for watching as always. And let's see what the hell all this is about. Another deep dive into human nature, baby. Hell yes.
Adam22 has had his fair share of controversies since starting his brand No Jumper. A platform that made a name for itself by giving underground rappers a voice, has evolved into one of the most toxic, chaotic, and unpredictable phenomena in the media landscape.
A podcast about rappers that's toxic and chaotic and unpredictable? I don't think anyone could have ever deduced that. Oh my God, rappers? The most upstanding citizens of society and democracy as we know it? Now clearly that's definitely not, you could do those types of things and involve people who are all those things without your platform devolving into, well, just degeneracy. And hey man, I mean, who am I to say, Degeneracy is great for views. It's great for getting people to watch your stuff. And if the point is my attention acquisition, then hey, you did it, right? Which is good. Doesn't matter the opinions people have about the thing that you do, as long as they show up and watch. That's the thing that matters, right? So, but that's just, those are three adjectives that are a good description of just rap in general, the types of people that you get. Because usually in that world, a lot of shittiness, a lot of backwards thinking, a lot of violence and mayhem is rewarded. Whether it be in the lyrics, which the lyrics usually are a reflection of the people. Not to say that's just the case. It's just art, it's music. You can say and do whatever the hell you want, but a lot of these people tend to be a reflection of the lyrics, and that's what you're gonna get. So, there's all sorts of rappers that I enjoy. In fact, I enjoy rap, the music, but I don't enjoy the people that make it usually, because there are a lot of awful people that are given endless amounts of influence and money. And with that, you tend to see the worst of people, because here's the thing, money doesn't change you. It tends to just exacerbate features that are already prevalent within an individual. It's not money that corrupts. The corruption's already within here. It's just money gives you the platform to feel like you're not going to face any ramifications for your decisions or your actions, which usually that's the case depending on the way that you approach it, right? If you end up just killing somebody and you're in a position of power and influence, I guess it really depends on your extent of power and influence that determines whether or not you can get away with it or the ramifications you may be faced with, or it'll determine the extent of the ramifications you may be faced with. Yeah, already. It's a good summation. Let's see more.
Cause while Adam's influence has helped propel rappers to the next stage of their career, it doesn't make up for the times that he downright disrespected those who work for him, rappers, or fellow media personalities. Adam has ruffled up feathers so much that it even resulted into him getting canceled, turned into a meme, or literally got him physically attacked.
And all of these things are good for attention. As long as his bottom line isn't affected, which, the platform of which he's able to make money off of isn't, threatened, right? For him to legitimately get deplatformed, as if he gets demonetized on all sorts of various things, which I think are referred to YouTube, right? If his videos aren't allowed to run ads and he's not able to make money off that, that's the thing that's going to affect his livelihood. And even still, YouTube's one form of monetization. There's all sorts of other stuff. You can shill a website, you can shill affiliate links, you can sell your own products, your own merchandise. There's a bunch of stuff you can do with that type of thing. But all of those things that you listed, those are technically net positives because attention. Oh God, this guy got attacked? Let me look more into it. Let me hear about it. Oh, there's allegations against him? Let me look more into it. Let me see what's going on. If you can garner people's interest, that's the only thing that matters, and usually depravity, degeneracy is going to contribute to that. So,
which was the case when he started beef with a rapper who goes by the name of Russ.
I'll turn around and boop! Oh, got punched in the goddamn head.
Although he's built a name for himself as being one of the most successful independent rappers the hip-hop genre has ever seen flourish, Russ would constantly be at the center of Adam22's jokes on social media.
I gotta admit it, today I'm doing an interview with Russ and Lil Dicky.
To understand why, it's important to note that Russ's brand revolves around spreading positivity and motivating up-and-coming artists. However, similar to how Logic, Chance the Rapper, or Kyle were perceived by a vast majority of the hip-hop audience, Russ would be labeled corny for being a bit too positive. And his beef with Adam22 showed just how much it really got to him. It all started in October of 2017, after Adam22 asked his fans if they would rather let their kids listen to Russ or Lil Xan, where Russ would end up losing by a wide margin. To add salt to the wound, he would then joke about the then 25-year-old rapper for his anti-drug t-shirt that read, "How much Xans and lean do you have to do before you realize you're a fucking loser?" And I seriously can't believe I'm saying this, but Adam22 had a problem with Russ not wanting to do drugs. You see, Adam22 is known to have done many of these substances throughout his life, and has also co-signed tons of rappers like Lil Pump, Lil Xan, and Smoke Perp, who were all well-known users at one point in time.
Co-sign these people? So that's another stream of revenue right there. If he gets kicked off of YouTube. My God, you're representing people who make money off of making music? Like, oh no, you get kicked off YouTube? Oh shit, oh no. He's well known enough that he could just make his own website and run ads on that. I mean, I don't know how the process of being able to do that, but yeah, what did I say? Find ways to make money, that's the one thing that matters. As long as you keep doing that, as long as you can keep getting your face out there, your voice out there, your material out there, that's the thing people are going to respond to. That's the thing that matters. So all this stuff, all this white noise that occurs on the fringe of it, no matter how bad it is, as long as it doesn't affect your bottom line, you're golden. And I'd even argue that you're benefited by doing that, by doing things that can get more people to be aware of what you're doing. So the more degenerate you get, the more views and money you're gonna make. People are rewarded for these things. So it makes sense why you get stuff like this, or what we haven't quite seen. We've only gotten glimpses of what stuff like this is. It seems to be in the vein of physical assaults and roasting and just childhood freaking like drama, all that fun stuff, which it's always fun to go over. It's always a nice little ditty. Like Diddy.
Feeling as if they were being sneak dissed by Russ, Lil Pump and Smoke Perp embarked on a journey to show how much they hated him, tweeting things like, "Shut the fuck up, you bitch," and "Me and J. Cole cool now, so now it's Russ." Adam22 didn't hesitate to join in on the fun with a few tweets of his own. In one case, he literally changed the text on the shirt to say, "How much Xans and lean do you have?" and literally posted it on the official No Jumper account. And after enduring relentless online attacks, Russ and his crew reached a breaking point. They didn't just go after Smoke Perp, who had posted photos of Russ's sister online, but they also targeted Adam22. And it wasn't long before Adam claimed that he got jumped at a nail salon by Russ's goons for what he said.
All of a sudden, I just hear Adam22. I'm thinking it's somebody wanting a photo, so I'm like, oh God, can't I just get my nails done? I'll turn around and boop! Got punched in the goddamn head. Didn't see the guy that well, but punched me in the head one time, and then I believe I got hit again, sort of on the top of the head.
Although Russ was able to squash his beef with Smoke Perp eventually, it wasn't the same for Adam. Instead, he claimed he got what he deserved.
Yeah, so much for a message of positivity and being decent. You made fun of me! Duh! Violence, physical violence. Yeah, it's just a thin veil. Doesn't matter how much of a degenerate Adam22 is, right? You can say whatever he wants, you can do whatever he wants. They're just words at the end of the day, honestly. Yet it got to your heart, and I'm guessing because you have a very thin, fragile sense of masculinity and a very large ego. There's some words on the internet, the stuff that you're going to inevitably encounter in your career, especially the more well-known you're going to get, it was too much for you. So you got your goons to attack somebody because you didn't like what they were saying about you. Wow. Super, super positive, super great influence. It's a joke, man. It's all just words. Not just what he's saying online, but like what this guy says about his brand or the things that people say about this guy's brand. Honestly, positivity, yet don't make fun of me, otherwise I'll turn physically violent with you. What a child, man. These people are losers, dude. That's why one of the many reasons why I just don't like rappers. Right? It's a lot of, you know, patheticness. It's a lot of fragile egos and fragile masculinities. And yes, like you have a fragile sense of masculinity if some words elicit violence, unless like the person's threatening you or the people that you like or doing stuff to cause physical harm or damage to you, which words on the internet, and people shit talking you, people are always going to do things based on whatever they do and don't like, or whatever they're feeling. There's not anything that you can do to control that. And this, when you react like this, you're kind of just reinforcing all that stuff that people say, which would in turn reinforce a lot of the negativity that's being thrown your way. Why not just, I don't know, stop being a pussy? Grow up. Like, learn how to deal with people's trolling. Learn how to deal with the negative things that people have to say about you. Like, it's pathetic, man, honestly. Like, seriously, dude.
We're talking real simple shit. People talk shit and then got punches thrown at them. Big deal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you acting like we're running around out here getting people killed and shit. Like, bro, you talked extensive shit on a consistent basis about someone you had never met in your life or talked to. And as a result, they responded and ended up punches got thrown your way. Big deal. Like, if you, like, I don't understand. Like, when you push and shove someone consistently for a year, if you don't think that there's going to be some sort of a response, then I'm really confused on how you think this world operates.
Oh, is that how you rationalize your violence? Somebody said mean words to me, and that's how I respond. And it's just a big deal, man. Nobody got killed. It's like people are still getting hurt. Physical violence is physical violence at the end of the day. Yet, like, oh, you think that this is a valid response because this guy is trolling you online because he's saying some stupid shit about you? It's like, that makes you a bitch. Pushing and shoving people, what? Figuratively speaking, you mean? Because he said some stuff online and is making fun of you? Oh no. Oh wow. You're such a big man with us. You're so tough. Honestly. Like, it's just baby shit. Like, you just making fun of me? Take this, take this. Yeah. Grow up, dude. Honestly. Fucking children. It's pathetic seeing people. I mean, it makes sense why they're in these positions. Why people are willing to listen to these idiots and give them money for the stupid shit they make. Because, you know, it's usually a reflection of the quality of the people that are watching. Bet you a lot of people think that that's valid, right? Or don't say mean words about me, otherwise I'll turn violent with you. And kind of reinforce the stuff that you're saying about me. It's like, unless he's like threatening you, unless you're in a position where you have to defend yourself against physical violence, you're the aggressor. No amount of mean words, no amount of trolling merits any of that, right? Like, I can understand the emotional reason, right? Which kind of makes you look even more like a bitch because it's just your emotions that's causing you to react in such a abrasive manner. But it's like, dude, if you think that that's okay, then you're a child. Like, you don't know how to handle your feelings properly. And you know, you aren't worthy of respect if that's what you think is a valid thing. And then you go to undercut it later on, dude, you're shoving people, even figuratively speaking, because Adam22 clearly didn't do that in real life, no matter how much of a loser Adam22 is, which I imagine we're going to get more into that as to how much of a loser he is in this video. But, like, with that, you still kind of just ran with it, and you're finding ways to rationalize it. So it's not a big deal. So it's not a big deal for you to be violent, or to people around you to be violent because somebody said mean words to you, but it's a big deal, enough of a deal to elicit a violent reaction from you and your goons, as they say it, because he said some mean words and he was being mean to you online. Sure. Whatever makes you feel like you're doing something right, you fucking idiot.
Later, Russ took to Twitter and pointed out how grown-ass 40-year-olds who talk shit should face repercussions for their actions. However, the whole thing would backfire on Russ, as social media began to point out how he came out looking like a man who couldn't fight his own battles. And some claim that he wouldn't have that same energy that he had for Adam had it been someone more street like Chief Keef. People already don't like him, now he's outright bragging about getting people jumped. I give him 6 months before something bad happens to him. Adam22, on the other hand, came out looking like the victor in this situation and basically apologized for everything he said to Russ after the incident.
I know for a fact that he has had other people sent after other people I know, yeah. I'm over. I just want to say for now that me and Russ have squashed things. Much love to Russ. I plan on listening to his music someday. I'm going to give it a try.
He then said that he was just trolling at the end of the day.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm a troll and I'm funny and like, what, you're just making more shit for me to make content out of. It's just more shit for me to talk about.
Adam22 even admitted that a lot of the drama started because he was on the same drug that Russ was preaching against.
Russ brought it up to me that there was a lot of tweets that I didn't remember, probably because I was zanned the fuck out, just like his t-shirt said, where I was basically like really roasting this motherfucker. And I don't do that now. Like I'm not gonna just use like a rapper as a punchline, like in the way that I was doing there, where I was really like treating him like he wasn't a human being, you know? Which to me, I don't approve of that or condone that.
I don't believe a goddamn word of what you're saying. Give me a break. Seems to be the entirety of your platform. If that's what got you to where you are, what's gonna make you stop doing it, really? Threat of violence? Like you said, you're gonna make more content out of it. I'm a troll, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna do this and that, but I've grown. No, I don't do that anymore. I don't make fun of people, even though simply something as subtle as putting somebody on your podcast and asking them particular questions a certain way can be doing that, can be roasting and trolling. Like, dude, just own it. Honestly, if that's what you are, go for it. Who gives a shit? But like, it seems like it's just a bunch of spineless people that are like getting angry and violent with other spineless people. At the end of I mean, that's rap. A lot of the rappers are very pathetic people when you break it down. A lot of them are just violent, angry children on the inside, which it's funny. It's funny to watch. It's funny to make fun of. But hey, man, welcome to humans. Welcome to making money. This is this part of the world, this fast of life.
While Russ might have gotten embarrassed for not fighting his own fights, it certainly wasn't as bad as China Mac, who got exposed after going too close to the fire.
I think you being the biggest in the world got your head and your ego all the way up there. You think you're like this big hot shot guy, but in actuality you just like the laughing stock for the world.
In late 2023, No Jumper fan favorite and friend of Adam22, Crip Mac, would be arrested once again on gun charges, leading to some friction between Adam22 and Crip Mac's manager, China Mac, who was upset that Adam wasn't willing to come stand in court to help with Crip Mac's case.
Because I knew that the judge would tell the lawyer to put in a motion, I wanted to, before we even put in a motion, to have people of the community to represent Crip Mac in the courtroom, to show that Crip Mac isn't a criminal that's running the streets doing criminal shit, that he's actually has a job, that he's actually doing community work, and that he's handling business, as he would say, right? So first person I asked was who? Adam22. I hit Adam22 up. I'm like, yo, Adam, Crip Mac got court. It's very important. Can you guys come to court and say that, you know, he's employed with you guys, and that, you know, if he was to be given bond, y'all would pose some type of responsibility for him, make sure that, you know, he's going to work and that he's not messing up. So he said, oh, I'm booked. I have a interview that day. Crip Mac could be coming home. He could be home for the holidays because you know, go up there and say he has a job. I've seen it happen. I've seen judges let people go because, you know, their employers came into the courtroom and said, you know, he's employed and whatever. So I seen that happen, so I knew there was a possibility. So that's why I even asked Adam. I really didn't want to ask Adam for nothing, honestly. This is for somebody's freedom. This is for somebody that you call your friend, your buddy-wuddy, your, you know, whatever the else he calls him, you know what I'm saying?
However, Adam22 didn't take too kindly to being called a bad friend and started firing back with videos of his own.
I seen China Mac talking shit, running his mouth. Let me explain something to you. I got 20 full-time employees, and when I have a day of 4 full-length interviews, that shit's important to me. That shit impacts the bottom line. And I'm not really feeling sitting here and taking business advice from some guy who can't even manage his own career. Never mind Crip Mac. I mean, you were trying to be his manager. He got this case. He caught all these gun charges under your watch, so that's on you. And then this dude who's never been successful at anything in his entire life is trying to tell me how to run my business. Bro, if you wanted me at the bail hearing, you should have told me more than 24 hours in advance, and I would have made it happen. In fact, I was just talking to Lupe, and we are going to make it happen because she actually gave me some good notice. But meanwhile, you are just out here in no man's land because everything that you ever tried to do streaming-wise has absolutely failed, and now Crip Mac's gone, so you can't glaze him any further since that was the only thing giving you any kind of relevance. This is why China Mac doesn't understand me. It's because his schedule is open today, tomorrow, the day after that, and every day for the rest of time. And I'm not joking. This is a grown-ass man with no responsibilities, no business, no employees, no dependents, nothing. He got nothing going on. So how the fuck are you gonna sit there and talk about a grown-ass multimillionaire with 20 people on the payroll when you got nothing going on? And China Mac, I don't even want to get into this because people that I don't want to offend are gonna get hurt in the process. But tell them why you ain't been on Vlad in a few years.
God, these are all just shitty people. And they all look so disgusting, too. Like, just tatted up with shit fucking branded onto their skin. Like, Jesus. They're like walking Jackson Pollock paintings, just beating each other up and shit. I guess about that scenario. Is Crip Mac in the wrong? It's a funny ass name. Crip Mac, he's fucking... Rap names are the real life equivalent of profile names on like YouTube or like Steam or something. But if he's in the right or wrong, which I mean, I don't even know if you would have, Adam22 would have context to that. But even still, I guess the bottom line of whether or not you being considered a bad friend for not showing up and backing up one of your employees, I think you should determine whether or not it's right or wrong as to whether or not the thing that Crip Mac did was right or wrong, or if he's should be faced with ramifications. You don't stick around with friends blindly or loyal in a loyal sense just because they're your friend. You need to do stuff because they're right and it's fair and it's good. And actually, because that's what a backbone is. I think loyalty, it can be a very, very pathetic thing if it's not used properly. There should be, loyalty should be conditional, let's just say. And the people who are unconditionally loyal, those people tend to be dumbasses, and they tend to be bad people who just blindly follow a sense of virtue because that's just what they feel. But yeah, and clearly he doesn't give a shit if he's not willing to, I don't know, pause an interview, because clearly they're asking someone like Adam22 to show up. They're not willing to change stuff around. Clearly that guy's the person of interest, and he is the one that kind of has the degree of control and influence and power in that scenario. So he could just be like, okay, I'll reschedule the fucking interview. Let me go and help my employee out if you actually did give a fuck, which he doesn't, clearly. He only cares about himself. Clearly, that's the way he said. Bottom line, you have no idea how to run a business. It's about making money. That's the thing that matters. And yes, people like that do tend to be spineless. They tend to have no sense of virtue, no sense of dignity. I mean, hell, that's why this fucking video was made, right? To go over a person who's not a very good person, guarantee it. And we're probably gonna get more information as we go along. But if it were for me, right? If I had a friend getting caught up on gun charge, first of all, I wouldn't have friends that get caught up on fucking gun charges. Why you interact with people? I mean, yeah, rappers, it's the grunge types of people that you're going to be interacting with, so it makes sense why they have that type of thing. So you're always going to be thrusted into scenarios like that. But for me, depending on what it is, right, I would show up, give my piece, and that's all I would. All I would do if I believe that the situation merited it. If I believe that this person, and if I had enough information on the situation to be able to come to a consensus on it, that would justify me showing up and backing them up, as they say. I don't have any information on Crip Mac and whether or not the gun charges were legitimate, because to me that's kind of serious. Like, guns are things designed to kill people with accessible efficiency. So why do you have access to them in a fashion, especially in the world's like gun capital where everyone has a gun? You must be doing something if you get caught up on charges like just unregistered firearms. Why the fuck do you have a bunch of unregistered firearms? What good can come of that? You want to avoid having to pay for all the stuff for that? I mean, there's a reason why there's legality surrounding that stuff, because guns are weapons designed to kill. That's not looking good. But, you know, it seems like I've been repeating myself a bunch of this thesis throughout the entire video. It's just a bunch of awful people just being shitty to each other. But it's good content, right? It's fun to laugh at these disgusting animals, so... Let's see what else happened.
The incident that Adam22 is referring to is the DJ Vlad interview with China Mac 2 years ago, where China Mac narrated his entire fight with former No Jumper host, AD.
I had balanced myself because I hit the wall. I kind of like was about to fall, but the wall held me up, and then I got back up, and when I got back up, he tried to rush me. So when he rushed me, I sidestepped, you know what I'm saying? Like, I sidestepped, and I just kind of pushed him this way, and he fell on the floor. So when he fell on the floor, at that moment, his head was like right there, so I went over there to try to kick it.
The only problem with this was that the fight was completely staged, and it never really happened. Apparently, China Mac was just trying to appear tough on camera. Interestingly, what really made Vlad blacklist China Mac from his channel was the time he pranked him with a life-threatening situation.
Hey, I'm all loud, bro. Yo, bro. Yo, what y'all doing? What you doing, bro? What's up, cuz? Oh, man. Oh, man, I think you should go. Yo, hey, yo. Yo. Hey, yo, Vlad. You been pranked. You been pranked, Vlad.
Vlad wasn't too happy with China Mac after this and banned him from appearing in his interviews, as things could have gone very differently in that situation. However, China Mac would respond to Adam, admitting that he might have chased clout, but Adam does the same thing, only worse.
But now that you said you're gonna go to Crip Mac's court hearing, that's really all that matters to me, you feel me? Because I do care about the brother, you know what I'm saying? I do want him to get home, so I know that, you know, Adam22 and No Jumper, y'all could, you know, really help bro come home. So that's all I'm really worried about. I don't want to go back and forth with Adam22. I'm really not interested in that, you know what I'm saying? He called me a clout chaser, you know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, I mean, I've done some cloutivities, don't get me twisted. I've done some cloutivities, you know what I'm saying? But we on the internet, who hasn't? But if I'm chasing clout, then Adam22, what the f are you doing? And also, not to mention, you let another man f your wife, bro. Like, if that's not chasing it, then what is?
This brings us to our next victim, Jason Love, the star who slept with Adam's wife only a few days after their wedding, and went on a press run clowning Adam shortly after.
Do you think that you fucked her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes. But I'm pretty sure he probably felt different with Adam for her because love is involved emotions. But as for the physical aspect of getting, obviously.
Adam22 and his wife Lena the Plug have been heavily involved in the porn industry for the past couple of years. But while Adam has had the chance to sleep with plenty of different types of women in their content, Lena has never shot a scene with anyone besides Adam, which is why it went insanely viral when he announced that a scene would be coming out with her and another guy. Well, one thing that's for sure is that it went viral, but it wasn't a good look for Adam22, because shortly after the scene aired, he was getting cooked by all sorts of people on the internet. You seriously couldn't scroll Twitter, YouTube, or TikTok without seeing a cook joke with Adam22 as the punchline during this time. But strangely, nothing seemed to affect him. He was joining in on the jokes and making light of the entire situation since he was still making ridiculous bags from it. But when Jason Love went on a press run, breaking down how he annihilated Adam's wife during filming, Adam couldn't hold his tongue anymore, prompting a response that everyone thought should have stayed in the drafts.
Hey, Jason Love, I trusted you to pork my wife. It seems like that clout is getting to your head. You're talking real spicy and I ain't really feeling it. Don't make me expose you. And you know what I'm talking about. It could get real messy out here. Number 4, you don't want problems moving around in these LA streets, because I can make that happen. I'm very well connected. And number 5, you are officially blacklisted from smashing my wife again. Show some respect.
Dude, this guy has absolutely no fucking spine. Like, so fucking pathetic, honestly. You were running with it until one thing happened in a particular way that just made you feel the wrong thing at the wrong time, and now you're acting. I mean, clearly that's just another clout move, right? For more attention to. But it also shows like someone's sense of virtue. It's all good until it's not, and now I can create some drama or to cause some beef. I mean, it's hard to know whether or not it actually did or didn't feel like make him feel angry, right? Because you can never tell with fucking parasites like this. You can never tell what is real and wasn't real, because everything that they say and do, especially if it's bad or negative or causes drama, benefits their bottom line. But it's like, let's just say that it were true, that he was actually offended or wasn't offended by getting cucked by this guy until the guy said something in a particular way saying that he fucked his wife better than he did. But even though the guy kind of gave him some credit, say like, hey, yes, the physical act, I was way better than he was, but like, she loves him, and that probably means more. But even still, that bothered him. Let's just say that is true. Like, what a pathetic little worm. Really, that's the thing that bothered you? Not him actually having sex with your wife, but him talking about having sex with your wife. It's like, what the fuck? Oh God, fucking animals, man. Jesus. That's pathetic. But I mean, he probably knows that it's pathetic. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he probably tells himself at the end of the day, it's like, I got money, I'm good. What kind of person who's a loser and who's pathetic has all this cheddar? It's like that. If you're saying that, then yes, that makes you not a loser in context of society. Because remember, society's fucking stupid. It's built on vanity. It's built on value acquisition. So people like Adam22 can go to sleep at night, telling himself that he's better than other people because he's found a way to win this game that he was designed to be exploited, such as being able to make money off of the buzz created around him letting somebody else sleep with his corn star wife. But I guess that's, they're all just trying to make their own. They're all just trying to make even more and more money. But it's also another weird thing. It's like, how much money are you really trying to... It gets to a point where you're making so much money, it's like, what's the point of trying to even make more and more money? I get making even more to want to secure yourself for the rest of your life, but it's also kind of... Monetary acquisition gets gratuitous after a certain point, where it's like you're making so much money that you just couldn't fathomably spend it in a realistic fashion, where your standard of quality of life doesn't really increase the more money that you make. There's a threshold for that. What's the difference between making 10 million and 100 million? Just the fact that you can open up your bank account and see more zeros? You can still go on vacation whenever you want. You can still do whatever you want, whenever you want. People still know you based off of what you do. Like, what's different? It's just a vanity metric at that point. And it's like, I never really understood the concept of that. In my personal purview, if I were to have that type of degree of that means of monetary acquisition, I would be putting it back into something instead of just stockpiling it and sitting on it and then opening my bank account and jerking off to the number. It's like I'd be making movies, I'd be making television, I'd be making music, I'd be doing something with it. But what the hell is Adam22 doing with it? On this freeze frame right here, it says that he gifted his corn star wife $400,000 lime green Lamborghini. Wow. So you can buy needlessly expensive garbage cars for people? Is it just the thought of being able to do that makes you feel better? That's pathetic. That's spineless. Like, there is no integrity in the world. Humans don't give a shit about that. Make money, and that's the thing that people are going to talk about. That's the thing that people are going to admire. And yes, it is a degree of admiration. Even if people are shitting on you on the internet, you occupy their mind. They're giving their limited existence some of that. They're slicing a bit of it off, and they're handing it to this guy in a way that benefits him so that he can continue doing shit like this. That is, wouldn't you say that that's in a sense a degree of admiration? What's the enemy to admiration? Indifference? People don't care? Yeah, okay, so then why are people doing this? Because they do kind of care. Because they're interested in it. Because it gathers their attention. So, at the end of the day, it's just more shitty people being shitty, doing shitty things so that they can live their shitty life the way that they shitty want to. So, let's keep going.
While things might have seemed to flare up between them, it's important to remember that they were both making ludicrous amounts of money from the video, and they were never even friends. It was just business. Unlike Lil Housephone, who got outed by Adam and got embarrassed when he tried to stand up for himself. Lil Housephone had been Adam22's closest friend for about 7 years, but little did he know how hard Adam would betray him when the transgender star Gracie Jane claimed she had personal information about him. On Adam22's Sledgelord's podcast, Adam had hosted her on the show, knowing she had something to do with Housephone. Right from the beginning of the podcast, it was pretty clear that she had malicious intentions.
What would you describe the tone of this episode as being?
I mean, we're gonna have fun today. I'm gonna have a lot of fun today.
A lot of fun today.
Hell yeah.
And by the time we get into the podcast, she's already name-dropping Housephone, and Adam22 only makes it worse.
Never mind. I'm gonna impersonate someone that I shouldn't.
Did that look down upon to expose that somebody may have been with a trans person?
Yeah, absolutely. I sign NDAs and I take them very seriously, so just letting everybody know that.
You didn't get one, I'm guessing?
You didn't see me. Okay.
Just air them out. But I feel like in general, that's kind of a thing.
You pay for discretion in this world, okay? All right. I am a very, very honest person, and I'm well-known, vetted.
As the interview is about to end, Adam realizes that he might have taken it a little bit too far.
I have a feeling that this will soon be about him.
Oh,
I'm going to be hearing a lot about this.
Tell him to take it up with me. I don't give a...
I would like to say the same, but it seems like I'm worried about people calling me a bad friend for just not editing this and putting it out. They're gonna be mad at me.
After the interview, Adam hit up Housephone, who pleads with him to not upload the video, but knowing that Adam isn't gonna agree, he tells him to make sure the editors cut it out. However, the editors missed a lot of parts that mentioned Housephone when the video initially came out, which permanently altered Housephone's image to the public. When House Phone confronted him, he was quickly reminded of what kind of person Adam22 was.
But let's rewrite this and let's say that they had properly edited everything out and there wasn't anything in that episode that suggested anything about you.
I mean, they still would have put 2 and 2 together.
No, because I told them to take out everything where there was any instance of this person saying anything about anyone I knew. That was the intention. But, and if that had happened...
But the intention doesn't matter at a certain point.
I agree. And that's why I felt like shit about it.
I don't give a fuck about you feeling like shit.
I can't believe that you're acting like you don't believe me.
You keep trying to do this victim white boy thing where you're trying to make it about you. It's not about you, Adam.
I understand that you have clearly suffered a lot more from this. I just also want you to understand that this is not...
I don't give a fuck. It's not about you. It's not about you at all.
I'm not trying to make it about me.
You had the power in your hand for it not to happen at all. You're talking about, yeah, he's been going through the mom shit. He's been going through the health shit. You're talking about the person that fucking raised me, that birthed me, my best friend that died. Oh, he's been going through the mom shit.
But are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're respectful as
I paid for the funeral as soon as it happened just because...
That's hilarious. First of all, yeah, Adam22 is a bad friend. I mean, that's usually what comes along with being a piece of shit. Secondly, I don't believe you. If you didn't really want them to keep it in, you would have made the moves to not have that happen. You're the guy with the power in your hands. Third of all, House Phone. These fucking names, man. Can't take any of these fucking parasites seriously. But like, you fuck trans women. Okay, who gives a fucking shit? Oh, the people you're surrounded by? Oh no, maybe don't surround yourself with those people if they give a shit about something like that. Fuck those people. Oh, but I gotta stay with my crew. I gotta stay with my gang. Some more of that blind loyalty bullshit. Wow. Yeah, and you're such a strong, tough man. You don't even have the strength to be able to cut out fucking pieces of shit in your life who don't like the stuff that you get up to when behind closed doors. Oh no, you have sex with trans women. Oh, that's so unmasculine of you. That's so gay, man. Gross. You're not a gangster. Fuck those people. Why do you give a shit about what they have to say? Oh, because you're worried about your well-being? Get away from them. You have the fucking means to be, you're clearly like somewhat well-known. You have some degree of money, right? Okay, build a life away from those people. Talk to your friends. Hey, are you cool with me screwing trans women? And if their answer is anything other than I don't give a shit, you do you, you cut them out. Okay, you're gone. Goodbye. This is the last time we interact. Fuck you. I do me. I do the things that I want to do. And if you have a problem with it, go fuck yourself. That's the answer. But instead, you got super insecure on their behalf, and now you're taking it out on the cuck Adam22. Which, yes, he did that to screw you, clearly, because he knew there was going to be an end. He knew that there was going to be content. I mean, you're giving him the content by trying to fucking jump him on the No Jump podcast, right? A little bit ironic there, huh? But it's pathetic. All these people suck. It's funny to see these disgusting animals rip each other apart. But, hey man, at the end of the day, it's all about money, right? And it's working. These people are doing the thing that gets them the thing that they are told to do, right? In order to live the life that they want to. These people have full autonomy over their existence. These people can make moves that like other people are aware about. And these are the people that are in those positions. Garbage. Parasites. Mindless, disgusting animals. So, yeah, fuck Adam22, fuck House Phone, fuck all the other people that showed up on his stupid-ass podcasts. They're all just, like, these are just bad people. Awful, disgusting people, really. Like, dude, you can listen to their music, sure, but if you care about them as people, your priorities are in the wrong place. Ooh.
This is not even the worst part about this confrontation. It sucks more for House Phone because he was forced to sit back down and continue the podcast after acting out, which didn't help his already plummeting reputation. Some people speculate that this was all planned out by Adam22 because he didn't like the fact that House Phone smashed his wife before him. But if you ask me, this is clearly another case of Adam being insensitive and scaring away his employees. Because after this, House Phone would leave No Jumper forever, setting the blueprint for AD and T-Rel, who followed suit after being mistreated by Adam. AD and T-Rel were street-savvy guys who joined the No Jumper show following his impressive performances in various interviews. AD was this cool guy who had a great sense of humor and was adored by the audience.
I was drunk as and I started crip walking and shit, and man, Big U recorded it. Shout out to Unc. He put it on his Instagram and they tore me a new one.
Really?
Oh, they fucked me over.
Oh my God.
He's the main one, man. Spin moves and tornadoes and all type of shit. Right. So I had to live that for like 2 weeks, and since then I ain't crib walk no more.
T-Rail, on the other hand, was very charismatic on the mic and always got people interested in what he was saying.
Once we moved to the 50s, it got crazy.
And that's when you felt like you needed to squad up or what?
For the 50s, yeah. I mean, for the 50s, it just felt like it was a family-oriented neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We didn't cross the tracks, like we didn't go out the 50s.
Their addition to the No Jumper platform brought new life into the brand at a time when their content was beginning to get stale. However, tensions would slowly rise years down the line when T-Rail and AD would start their own shows disconnected from No Jumper. They felt like they could get their own shows running on the side while still collecting checks from No Jumper. At first, this wasn't a huge problem for their boss Adam22, as AD had become a close friend he could rely on, and they all still made substantial contributions to the shows.
But let me guess, Adam22 had a problem with that because of his dumbass, pathetic, fragile sense of ego, and he doesn't like it when people succeed around him in his orbit, because I guess that makes him feel less powerful. That makes him feel less like the man. Right? How dare these people who I set up go off and do their own thing? I owned them. They're my slaves. Nobody jumps off the No Jumper podcast without my permission. Wow, from someone like Adam22, I don't think I would have ever anticipated something like that. Someone as spineless, someone as much of a fucking piece of shit, loser, like, I don't think I would have ever guessed that. But I'm guessing, I'm going to pause it if that's exactly what he says, which I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he's going to say in the doc.
But as their platforms began blooming, Adam started to become more critical of AD and was even having reservations about keeping him on the show.
He was doing like 3 streams a week, 4 streams a week outside of that show, and he was kind of like saving topics. Like he didn't want to, he wasn't giving him his full self.
However, this wasn't the only reason Adam didn't want AD on the show anymore. You see, Adam had invited a man called Richard Spencer to the show, which a lot of the staff weren't too happy with for very obvious reasons.
Richard Spencer's a Nazi. Also, I was right. He's not giving his full self to my show. Instead, he's trying to make his own shows that he can benefit from that. Disgusting. Because, yeah, I need that. I need more. I need all of it. Because I just need to fucking glut and just consume as much as possible, even though I'm already like a multimillionaire. Fuck the types of people. That's why I just don't fucking respect or idolize anybody in these types of positions. And I think, Steve, that is a reflection as an individual. If you look at somebody and you see how much money they have and then that makes you do this, you're spineless. You're a loser. Honestly, you're only going to look at the thing that we define as important as a species, as a society, monetary acquisition, as the one reflection of someone's character. That's pathetic. You're a sheep. You're a slave. You're a slave to the ideas you're surrounded by, if that's what you think. Like, that's pathetic, honestly. Like, look at the things that people do. What is it? How did they get there? How are they? Which moves are they making while they're there? How do they conduct themselves as an individual while they're there? Those are things you should look at. But no, humans are dumb. We're vain, superficial, disgusting creatures. So we're going to look at vanity metrics and use that as a reflection of everything else, because people just don't know any better. Humans. Ugh, it's my misanthropy. It's spilling out. But seeing shit like this, it's like, fuck all these people. Every person who shows up on this is just like, dude, garbage after garbage after garbage. Oh my God. And they live pretty good lives. As to whether or not they're happy, I don't know. But they're doing better. They live easier lives than people who actually possess character. And people who would, in a just world, be more worthy of having these types of things. But no, life's a game. It's an indifferent platform that is designed to be exploited, because indifference creates the outlet for that exploitation and selfishness and parasitism.
Richard Bernard Spencer is an American anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist and white. Spencer has advocated for the enslavement of Haitians by whites and for the ethnic cleansing of the racial minorities of the United States, additionally expressing admiration for the political tactics of the American Party.
Even though this person claims to be reformed, it's not hard to understand why a lot of No Jumper staff wouldn't want him on the show, especially since most of them are minorities. AD in particular decided to voice his opinions on the No Jumper Wednesday show.
All this shit got shied past in the interview. I don't appreciate that shit. Adam interviewed him. I'm a little disappointed Adam though, because like, you know, you have a mostly black staff. You feel what I'm saying? This No Jumper is built off of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And before you bring somebody over here, bro, like, nah, this your company. I ain't telling you what to do, but you gotta have more respect for your people, man, and the people that fuck with you and help make this platform better. I don't fuck with that shit.
Now, Adam wasn't a huge fan of what AD had said on the Wednesday show, and also wasn't feeling his performance on the Tuesday show. But instead of just talking to him about it like a normal boss, Adam22 decides to trash AD while gossiping with a fellow co-host, Lush, who then leaked their conversation in the No Jumper fan Discord that AD was going to be taken off the Tuesday show. Now, obviously AD was pissed, since from his perspective, he was getting bashed behind his back by his boss, and fans were the ones telling him about decisions that were being made on the show.
Bro, I don't give a fuck about you keeping me on a Tuesday podcast. I care about nigga supposed to be my homeboy. Nigga, if you gonna make a business move, do your business move. Do what you gotta do. But don't talk behind my back and don't talk to a nigga you just met and don't have mother sitting there saying that shit. That make me look crazy. That make it look like everything. That make it look like everything that I did, and you know. Anytime something get cracked, listen. Every time something get cracking in that office, who the first nigga that go outside and do this shit and ready for whatever?
Is it you, Adam?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you on some real shit.
Dude, this guy's a loser. You're appealing to a piece of shit, or you're trying to appeal. You really think he gives a fuck about you? And here you are trying to fight and claw for his affection. Honestly, I mean, more pathetic, spineless bullshit. But another thing, an interesting, I guess, topic that could be brought up, which is an interesting point of discussion. Should you allow people like that a platform? White supremacist, hateful people on... I mean... It's weird given that given context to his podcast and what the point of the podcast is to bring in rappers. It's clearly a bit like a money move for more attention, right? Oh shit, this guy who brings on a bunch of rappers who usually tend to be black brings on a fucking white supremacist? Why? Are you gonna fucking interview some like political pundit next? Like, what's going on here? In context of that, that is fucking weird. But just the point of being able to give a platform to these types of people and hear what the stuff they have to say, I think that should be the case for everyone. There's always ups and downs to everything, whether it be the censorship of people who have those types of dispositions, but it's also downsides to giving those people a platform. The censorship is for obvious reasons, right? Trying to silence somebody based on like who's the one making that decision to silence these people. Right? And usually that's never based off of something that's like, it's usually just based on who's in position to be able to silence that person. But on the flip side of that, the bad side of giving these people a platform is that it could bring in a lot of dumbasses, a lot of shitty people, and get a lot of bad ideas out there that can most negatively reverberate when it comes to the people who are listening. But I would say the censorship is worse because like you can't really control for the way that people respond to your stuff. And yes, you can make the argument that the types of people you bring in is a degree of control, because if you're bringing in type of people who have a certain types of views and values and everything, that's probably going to bring in a bunch of other people who are aware of this person in their views and values, and as a result, those people are going to bring along their views and values, and that'll, you know, it all plays into monetary acquisition or attention acquisition, which then equates to monetary acquisition. But the censorship also sets a bad precedent as well, because it's like, again, who's the one making the censorship, and how do you know what's like the qualities that determine that censorship, or the application as such. But also it's like, that to me seems a wrongful use of power, right? Because where does that line land of what is worthy of censorship or not? Something like white supremacy, that's more of a blatant thing. But like, what if it just comes to something that the person who's in the position of being able to censor something just disagrees with the thing that the other person says, that it's not even necessarily something as heinous as like racism, right? Then it becomes kind of a muddied gray area right there. But that is weird, given context to the podcast. Why the hell are you bringing a white supremacist onto your hip-hop No Jumper podcast that interviews rappers and artists? First we got Ariana Grande. Next we got fucking Cardi B. Oh, next we have freaking Joel Osteen. Okay. You can do whatever you want, sure, but it's a little off-brand. It's just weird.
What's even worse is Adam's allergic reaction to accountability.
How can you fault me for trying to have a conversation with one of the other co-hosts behind the scenes about something that
is me and your relationship like me and his relationship? I like to think that me and you are deeper than all these niggas.
No, but he's one of the other people who's on the podcast, so I was having a conversation with him about it that was supposed to be private.
I've been next to you, you know, in life or death situations, have I not?
Yeah, but I don't know what that.
I've been right there with you, bro. I've been right there with you, bro. Ready to risk it all. at any given time, anybody had a problem with you, I'm ready to end it all. So the fact I get done like that shit weak as.
Well, done like what? Like I had a conversation about you with Russ. Like I agree. I don't like the tone of one of the things I said in the conversation, which was just
Adam, for once, bro, just own that shit, cuz you did me wrong, bro.
Their entire phone conversation could be basically summarized as Adam trying to shift blame for the entire thing, and this comment explains it best. What Adam was really trying to say was, I'm sorry for talking behind your back to the wrong person. I'll do it with someone else who won't snitch on me next time. In Adam's mind, this still wasn't his fault, which is why he decided to fire Lush live in front of thousands of people, producing one of the funniest clips from the show in a while.
Lush, you lied to me.
What?
You lied to me, Lush.
About what?
What I just tried to talk to you about in the hall?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
Well, I got confirmation from a bunch of different people.
Nah, fool.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. And it looks funnier the more you lie. I honestly think, at least for now, maybe we could come to the bottom of this at some point, but it's probably better that you just leave.
Alright.
Thank you.
But unfortunately for Adam, the damage had already been done. So AD decided to leave No Jumper permanently, taking T-Rail, Duno, and Smack along with him for their own shows, which left multiple holes in No Jumper all at the same time. It's even more interesting that Adam still takes no blame for how things went down with AD.
I told him what the plan was, and he, you know, he's like an ex-addict and he really like needs people to confide in. So he basically goes in the No Jumper Discord and ends up spilling the beans about what was going to happen with the podcast to random fans, which was just mind-blowing.
Wow, a piece of shit doesn't, he does everything to dodge and evade accountability. I don't think I would have ever expected that. It's like when it comes to people's emotions, especially people in this position, right? Especially when it's being reinforced that the stuff they're doing is good because they're getting rewarded for it. They're gonna pile more degenerate, spineless garbage on top of that. Not only do I want to live this life, not only do I want to make money and acquire attention and do everything that I want, I also want to fucking not feel bad about the stuff that I'm doing. I want to tell myself everything I do is okay. I want to have my cake and eat it too. Can't really expect anything better from pieces of shit like this. But it makes sense. Especially, I mean, just the bottom line, just a guy starting a hip-hop podcast who's a piece of shit? Really? Is that why he's able to acquire all these people to get on his dumbass show? Right, a piece of shit, bringing on other pieces of shit so they can talk about, usually piece of shit art. A lot of these rappers are not very good. Oh god, and I like rap too. It's just like the lyrics whenever I'm listening, it's like, wow, this is fucking stupid. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. It's the same tropes, the same themes, the same subject matter over and over again, and they're barely articulate. Which makes sense. People usually aren't any better than that, but okay. Yeah, can't really be surprised. Piece of shit is also doing more piece of shit on top of his previous piece of shit stuff. Who would have? Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing are the exact words that you could use to describe what he did to his employees in May of 2024, which ended multiple jobs in the process.
As of today, or as of tomorrow, the news, No Jumper News, it's over. The Monday show, the Wednesday show, and the Thursday show also are over. I've decided that I really want to focus No Jumper.
But one person who can relate to Adam22 when it comes to beefing with everyone, including your own staff, is Joe Budden. Although there has always been respect from each side to some degree, Joe has always shown a little bit of animosity towards Adam22. In these days, Budden can be heard saying Adam22's No Jumper is, quote, in the toilet.
No Jumper as a whole,
podcast has gotten
Whack 100 is really,
he's saving it. First of all, I'm just want to say I don't give a shit about any of these people, but thank you, Joe Budden, for having like a normal human name. I appreciate that.
While Adam22 can be heard lashing out on social media, claiming that Joe Budden is not in the big three of media outlets, alongside him, DJ Academics and DJ Vlad.
There's a big three and you're not in it. It's me, Vlad, and that fat motherfucker you were sitting.
But where does this beef come from? Well, as you guys may know, Joe Budden is incredibly passionate about hip-hop culture, and to him, people like Adam22 don't really see eye to eye, because he believes that he doesn't really love hip-hop and is only here to profit off not only the genre, but black trauma in general. This was especially clear when Adam22 made an appearance on JBP, where Joe would make an interesting point, claiming how No Jumper's content about hip-hop is always negative and clickbait.
Which one?
Any of them. Read that one right there. Hey, Alex, put the arrow above the one you wanted to read. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah,
I interviewed
that one.
I interviewed FBG Cash, and this is a clip from the interview. FBG Cash claims Lil Durk told him to take a photo at King Von's mural.
This is a microcosm of this business and what goes on and how some people look at black artists, black lives. Like, come on, Adam, you got a bigger responsibility than this as a multi-millionaire from fucking hip-hop.
Truth bomb.
Adam22 would fire back though, claiming that no one he did videos about have claimed it was disrespectful.
I know many guys from O Block, right? I've been there. I know these guys. I interviewed a bunch of them. I fuck with the GDs as well. None of them have told me that they think these titles are in any way out of line, because to them it just seems like common sense. If you're gonna interview these guys, of course you're gonna talk about the shit that they actually talk about in their music.
Now you sound like a label head.
Along with calling Adam22 disgusted for re-uploading interviews he did with Kevin Samuels after he passed, the pressure was on Adam to really try and prove Joe wrong during this interview. And interestingly, a lot of fans in the comments saluted the way Adam handled the heat from Joe. Completely agreed with Adam. Joe thought he had Adam under pressure, but Adam actually held his ground quite strongly here. However, when Joe Budden and Adam teamed up for the Conversation Lovers Only podcast, Joe had Adam22 cornered when he asked the No Jumper CEO to address some serious allegations against him. For those who don't know, in 2018, a Twitter user by the name of Helen would release a tweet alleging that Adam22 had SA'd her when she was 2 years below the age of 18 to be exact. The tweet read as follows: Adam22 of No Jumper manipulated me into sexual relationships when I was a girl, R-worded me when I was 19, and then doxed me with a revenge porn blog months after he R-worded me, which included topless photos of me as a minor. Now, this story gets really deep, and your boy Luesta is trying to stay on YouTube's good side, if you know what I mean. But if you ever want to read more into it, I suggest you do a few Google searches on your own time. But supposedly, there are dozens of witnesses and screenshots where Adam kinda admits it, but overall, he strongly denied these claims. However, in 2023, another story was brought to the light by P-Busters, which I'm not gonna say their full name because, again, YouTube. But they got kicked off the No Jumper podcast after they accused him of talking to a girl who wasn't 18 yet. As reported on Hip Hop DX, the curators of the Instagram account @officialpbusters shared a pair of clips of their appearance on No Jumper, in which they addressed Adam22's recent admission that he allegedly had a single phone conversation with a girl who was not the age of 18, but immediately ended the conversation when he realized she was not the age of 18. In his account of events, Adam22 said that he and the woman somehow reconnected when she was 19, at which point they started a sexual relationship. Again guys, I'm sorry, but this clip is a bit too touchy for YouTube. However, you can check out the clip on this YouTube channel. When confronting Adam about it, Joe Budden told Adam that even if this timeline was accurate, the relationship would still technically be inappropriate.
You said the girl was from wherever she was from, so she didn't know what she was doing, but you knew what you were doing. You said, I knew what I was doing, so I got away from her. Well, you didn't get away from her if by the grace of God, she ends up back in your life while she's now of age. You're spending the night at her fucking mom's house. What type of white boy pervert shit are you? What are you talking?
What is the pervert shit about dating somebody once they are legal and of age?
I'm gonna let you guys tell me what you think about this altercation in the comments. Obviously, Adam22 is one wicked individual, and although he's loved in the hip-hop space for the amazing interactions he's had with rappers and celebrities alike, there is a darker side to his brand that I feel he should address a bit more properly. Either that, or his reputation and legacy will eventually be tarnished in the foreseeable future.
So yeah, that's that. Makes sense. And that's funny how they say he was revered in the rap industry. It's like, of course, awful people are revered in like every industry. That's why they're revered, because they're willing to do whatever it takes in order for people to know of what they do. At the end of the day, it's just another terrible piece of crap person who just makes lots of money at the expense of other people. It's a tale as old as time. Will his reputation really, I mean, clearly it doesn't matter. As long as you can keep acquiring attention, your reputation really does not matter. That's why I always say cancel culture really, you can't get canceled. You only cancel yourself. People can throw whatever they want at you, even like accusations and everything. Unless you're actually like deplatformed by the people who make you your money, right? Such as YouTube, which even still something like Adam22, he makes so much money doing other unrelated crap. So even if he got kicked off YouTube, he'd be freaking fine. your reputation really has no effect on whether or not people want to watch your stuff. People can hate watch your stuff. People can like you. People can, I mean, just look at all the comments earlier that were saying, oh, Adam held his ground against Joe Budden. Why the fuck are you sharing your opinion? These people suck. Why? Those are the viewers. Those are the people that are watching. Even if they don't like them, they're still watching. So, yeah, awful person doing awful stuff so that he can be known by a bunch of other awful people who do awful stuff so that they can all make an awful amount of money. Welcome to life, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you as always for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Go and subscribe to this guy. And you're awesome if you made it this far. And even if you hadn't, you're still awesome. Thank you for checking out my channel.